The class in memory of Jared Orchen. And we're talking in this week's Parsha, we get an idea about a leader. What takes to be a leader of the Jewish people? We read in the end of Parshat Shemot about Moses, how God is trying to ask him, God is begging him to become a leader. He reveals this to himself to him in the burning bush, in a real drama. He could reveal himself in his head. He revealed himself in the burning bush. And he tells them, I want you to take go back to Egypt and take the Jews out of Egypt. Moses doesn't want to do it. First he says, Mi anochi, who am I? Who am I altogether? I'm not important enough. God tells him, it's not you, I will be with you. It's not you are going, I'm going. I just need a mouth to speak. I'm going with you. Then Moses sees that this argument didn't work. He tries another one. He says that I'll come to the Jews. They will ask me, who are you? What's God's name? They'll ask me. What is God's name? Strange question. We're not going to the whole thing, what exactly they mean. They meant to say, where was God until now? Doesn't mean that God is sent. Where was He until now? For 86 years we are suffering so much. Where was God until now? God tells them, tell them the name, I am who I am. Basically, that's the answer from God. Tell them I was with them, I suffered with them, I know everything that happened. And now is the time for the redemption. Moses saw that he got the answer for this. He's trying another thing. He said, they will not believe me, that I'm a messenger from God. Altogether. They'll tell me that I'm a liar, I make up. God never revealed Himself to you. What God gave an answer for this question, for this argument? God gave him 3 proofs that He speaks in the name of God. Number 1 is, He told them, what do you have in your hand? You have a staff. He said, throw it on the floor and they turn into a snake. Moses ran away from it. He told him, you'll take the staff and you turn it into a snake, they'll know that you speak in the name of God. That was one proof. The second miracle to prove that He speaks in the name of God was, He says, put your hand inside your bosom, take it out, turn into leprosy. That will be a second sign. What was the third sign? Take some water from the river and turn it into blood, right? Moses saw, if they will not believe you, here is the proof for you. Fine. Moses said, the next excuse was, I have a hard way to talk. I have a speech impediment. I'm not speaking well. What is God tells them? God tells them, who gives a mouth to a person? God, I'll be with you. Don't speak, don't worry. It's going to work. By the end, when he saw that no excuses worked, after a whole week of arguing, he was arguing with God. If you argue with God for a minute, it's too much. For a week. Finally, he tells God, just send whoever you want, just not me. Some people say he sent Moshiach. The commentary said send Aaron, don't send me. Then God was upset and told them, go, and finished. Then the question is, why Moses did not want to go? Why not? Moses was a lover of the Jewish people. If anybody loved the Jewish people, it's Moses. Why not? God tells you, go save the Jewish people, the time of the redemption has arrived. Moses should run. Just when God gives him a little hint, he should run. He loved the Jewish people. Go, get them out. Get them out from exile. They are suffering so much. Why is Moses arguing? And Rashi says something very interesting. Rashi says that all of this was done because he didn't want to take away from his brother Aaron. You see, Moses' father was the leader of the Jewish people in Egypt during time of exile. His name was Amram. And Amram had 3 kids. Miriam was the oldest. And then came Aaron. And then came baby Moses. Moses was raised in Pharaoh's house, right, in the palace. Aaron was raised by his father. Aaron was born before the decree of throwing every baby to the river. That's why he survived. That Aaron grew up with his father, grew up as he continued, he took over, he was his father's successor. He was the leader of the Jewish people. He was with the Jews for 80 years. He gave strength to the Jewish people. And Moses felt that Aaron is more the right person for the job, much more than Moses. And therefore, later, God actually agreed with him a little bit. He says, don't worry. He felt also he didn't want to take Aaron's job. He's the leader. God tells him, don't worry. Aaron is going to come and meet you. And he'll be happy that you are coming and he will help you. And as we saw in the history, Aaron was helped Moses. He was his right hand throughout the 4 years. The ultimate two brothers who get along in Jewish history in the Bible is Moses and Aaron. Not only get along, not only don't fight. Menashe and Ephraim didn't fight. The first one not to fight. Moses and Aaron not only didn't fight, they were like one, inseparable. By that time, Moses agreed. When he told them Aaron will be with you, he will be happy for you. Don't worry. He's not going to be angry that you take away from him the job. He will be happy for you. By that time, he agreed. Then the real question is, okay, then we understand why Moses didn't want to go. God gave him the answer. That's what the Rabbi explains. God gave him the answer. He didn't want to go because of Aaron. Now that Aaron will be with him and Aaron will agree, Moses is happy. That if Aaron is so good, the question is, why not Aaron? Why Moses? Aaron is the oldest one. Aaron was for all these years in Egypt with his brothers, suffered with them, tried to save them, encourage them, give them water comfort. He put his water in the cold water. He was there. Moses was in the palace for 20 years or 4 years. Then he killed the Egyptian officer and he ran away to Midian for 4 years. Moses is an outsider. Why not Aaron? One of us. Why you bring? It's like to be the president of the United States, to bring somebody from a different country to be the president. It doesn't make sense. Why not one of us that we know, we trust, that everybody know? Aaron was so loved. That's the reason when Aaron died, the Jewish people more than Moses. Why not Aaron? That's the question. And what do you think, guys?
Moses had proven himself. Right?
Oh, what does this mean?
They were supposed to switch. I mean, one was supposed to be the other.
What's the first story that happened with Moses? First story we read about Moses. After Moses was born, when he came out, he grew up, he was 20 years old, 4 years old, whatever he was. He went out, and probably the first day or the second day or third day, he saw an Egyptian officer trying to beat up a Jew to kill him. Why? This Egyptian officer fell in love with a Jewish person's wife. Mm-hmm. He went down and he get him out of his house very early in the morning to go to work, and then he went inside the house. And he did what he did, and then when he came out, he saw that the Jew realized what happened. That he didn't want him to give out the secret, he wanted to kill him. That moment, Moses showed up. What Moses did, he looked around, right? And he saw that there is no man. What does this mean? Literally it means, he saw there is no man, he saw nobody can see him. Nobody can see him. The next day, the whole city know it. Obviously, people saw him. What does this mean? He saw that there is no one there. No man. He saw that there is nobody standing up for a Jew. An Egyptian officer is killing a Jew and the rest of the society says nothing. He saw that what happened in 1940 to 1945 in all over Europe. That a German officer, a Nazi officer can kill a Jew and nobody says a boo. People make themselves like they didn't see. He stood up and he killed the Egyptian officer. Now this was not a joke. killing in 1942 in Berlin an Egyptian officer because he kills a Jew, a Nazi officer because he kills a Jew, you're there. It's a death sentence. And then exactly what happened. He was informed to Pharaoh by Jews, actually. There was no Egyptian there, but there were Jews there. And Pharaoh in the beginning, they came and told him, he did something wrong. He said, okay, I don't care. He says, he killed somebody, an officer. Oh, that's unacceptable. And they took out the death sentence on Moses. He had to run away. And that's why he was in Midian for 4 years. Until God tells them, and God tells them, go back, God tells them, anybody who wants to kill you died. Don't worry, the death sentence is over. That God was looking to kill an Egyptian for a Jew means risking your life. What takes to be a leader? Somebody who is ready to die for another Jew. That's what it takes to be a leader. Aaron was a nice guy, very nice guy, but he did not have this material. Not to think twice, it's a matter of seconds. Just as they made the decision about shutting down the plane in Iran, it said it was a 10-second decision. That's what it looked like. But this was, it was ready to go. Will we see that Moses has this character? He's ready to die for a Jew? At the golden calf. So Moses told God, if you destroy the Jewish people, erase me from your book. I don't want to see it. I don't want to be a part of this program. God told Moses, I'll destroy the Jewish people, annihilate them, and start from your new nation. And Moses told him, don't count on me. Erase me from the book. I'll die together with them. This is the leader, what God was looking. This is the caliber of a leadership that we are looking. Somebody who is ready to die any minute for another Jew that he never met. Who was the Jew that he met when he came out from Pharaoh's palace? He never saw him before, ever. He didn't know who the guy is. So there's an Egyptian officer trying to kill a Jew, a prisoner, a slave for nothing. He saved him. That's what we are looking. Will we see the same thing? We see it also before. We are called Jews, right? Named after Judah. We're not called Josephites, we're not called Israelites, we're called Jews. Why? Because Judah was the one who was ready to give his life to save Benjamin. In the biblical story about Joseph and the brothers, and the last time when Joseph tried to accuse Benjamin of stealing, of being a thief, and he said, you stay by me being a slave, and all of you can go home. Judah stood up and says, I will be your slave forever. Send them on. What does this mean? He showed their leadership. He showed their responsibility from a brother. That's why we are called Jews. Being a Jew means what we expect from a Jew, what God is expecting of a Jew, is take responsibility for his brother. That's what a leader is all about. Getting up and be ready to die for another person. That's what Judaism is all about.